and welcome to another episode of Between the Studs. I'm your host, Mark, and today I'm joined by Chris, one of the owners of Atlanta Brick Co., and we are going to be discussing Lego pieces. But not just any Lego pieces that their common denominator is they are frequently or even usually thrown away. It's something we don't really talk about too much. I think we've thought about talking about it for a while. Lego's made a lot of weird pieces over their many, many years of producing plastic pieces, and some of them don't even say Lego, or they're really rare, really weird, and they don't survive most collections, and we don't see them in the store that often, or we've even accidentally thrown pieces away ourselves.
Yeah.
So Chris, what's your experience with pieces that are usually or sometimes thrown away?
I remember when my kids were young and we were just getting into Lego, we would have a big collection and we would dump all the Lego out on the floor, and I'd say, hey guys, let's sort out all the non-Lego. So me and my wife and my two very young kids, mostly my wife and I.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they were like toddlers, you know?
Exactly.
And we're picking out all the non-Lego parts. Well, I by no means was a Lego expert at all. And I can't imagine all the actual Lego things that I probably threw away.
Yeah.
But slowly over time, I've discovered, hey, that's Lego, that's Lego, that's Lego. There's a lot of things that you find in Lego collections. They're in almost every Lego collection. Kinects.
Yep.
Tycho, Mega Blocks, Band-Aids.
Yep. Exactly. Fingernails.
Thumbtacks, bullet shells.
Yep.
They're just fun to play
Pennies,
with.
all sorts of crazy stuff.
22 bullet shells actually can fit over Lego pieces, and you know, you can use metal with your mods.
Oh yeah.
And then coins.
Exactly.
We get a lot of coins. We get a lot of those flattened out coins. And
Souvenir coins, yeah.
What's funny about that is in the first Lego movie, they had the Hall of Relics.
Yep.
And their Band-Aid, and of course Will Ferrell, Lord Business, is mispronouncing all the
Band-Aid,
things,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
You know, so
razor blades, all this stuff.
yeah. And you know, and then from there, from sitting on my floor with my family sorting out Lego, we have gone to, I actually pay people now to sort Lego, and they throw away real Lego every single day. And one of my most favorite things to do here at the store is to go downstairs and check while they're down there sorting, check in the non-Lego bin / trash bin, and try to find pieces and catch them.
Yeah.
Throwing away real Lego pieces.
Hey, this is a Lego in the trash bin. Did you mean to put that in there? Yeah.
Yeah, that, and it's like, hey, look how smart I am. I know something that you don't. This is actually Lego. But they are getting so good at it.
They're a lot
really
better,
are.
yes.
They're getting a lot better at it. But anytime we hire a new kid,
They got to be trained, so.
yeah. You know, because of that, we don't actually throw away any of those big bins of trash without actually going through it again and looking for it, because usually it's those rare pieces that don't look like Lego. So
Absolutely.
they're usually quite valuable.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons, I think, is they're thrown away is because they're just an unusual piece. Might not even say, most Lego pieces have not only copyright Lego and sometimes the year, but also the part number, other information. But not all pieces are produced the same way, and that's why sometimes they don't say Lego on them at all. And then it's very hard to tell unless you know it's from a set. So yeah.
I think what throws people off the most are anything that doesn't have studs on it.
Yep.
Or the tube system on the bottom. And then anything that's not made out of the traditional plastic.
Exactly.
McDonald's toys, some of the older plastics, some rubber.
Yep, rubberized
cloth,
pieces. Yeah.
Any of that will throw people off.
Absolutely, yeah. But we have with us just a pretty good selection of pieces that we know we've either accidentally thrown away or we know are not common because they are not recognized as Lego pieces. So.
Do you ever remember throwing anything away?
I remember probably tossing some just unusual rubberized pieces, some pieces that if they don't say Lego on them, and I didn't know, I probably tossed. Like I know that I think I've thrown away some of the larger base plate style ones that we'll bring up later, but I didn't get a lot of Bionicles or other pieces, other set themes that are a usual culprit for weird pieces. So yeah, not as much as some people, but I know that I've thrown away some cool pieces in the past. So.
It's just so hard because almost every used collection that you get, there's non-Lego in it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the first things you want to do is get rid of all that non-Lego, and you're going to take that good stuff out. And
the little hidden gems, exactly.
When in doubt, leave it in.
Yeah, exactly.
It would rhyme if we said leave it out. When in doubt, leave it out. When in doubt, leave it out of the trash.
Exactly.
How about that?
Yeah.
When in doubt, leave it out.
Leave it out of the trash. Yeah. Save it, and in fact, I see people commenting on Lego Facebook groups all the time asking, "Is this Lego?" And more often than not, it is.
And that drives me crazy.
Oh yeah.
Drives me crazy because, duh, it's like. That's a lot of times it's like Mega Bloks, like way obviously Mega Bloks, or some really bad fake minifigure part from Mega Bloks, and it's like, that's Mega Bloks.
Yeah, clearly that's not Lego.
You know, or it's just like, look it up.
Yeah.
Or use Google Lens.
Sometimes it's pretty obvious. So yeah.
So that's what I was actually looking on my phone right now. Is now we can actually use Google Lens, and Google Lens has been around since before I got into selling Lego, I think.
Yeah.
But it's gotten better because when it first came out, you definitely couldn't identify Lego pieces with it. But now you can take your Google Lens and identify Bionicle pieces, which are extremely hard to identify.
Very specific and very unusual.
So as we go through this, we'll have to see if we can fool Google Lens with any of the pieces.
I like that idea, Chris. We'll have it. So do you want to pull out one of your pieces first, or want me to get one of mine here first?
I'll get it. So I do have an abnormal amount of Bionicle because I would say that's probably of any of the Lego themes, that's definitely the weirdest thing that gets thrown away the most.
They had some rare, colors and shapes and items in specific sets that are easily misinterpreted as non-Lego and can be thrown away.
So any beginner Lego fan is probably going to throw away these Bionicle masks. And your traditional Bionicle mask, I guess, is plastic.
Yeah.
But these are rubber, and they go right the same way as a regular mask. They go over them. They also use them for brains inside the little chicken guys.
Yes. So yeah, the
these
Borok,
guys,
they have... They can launch the masks at their enemies and then mind control them, so it's really good.
So they fit right inside, and then they... here, let's see if we can do that.
Yep, that actually works.
That. Yeah.
It's lost. So.
It goes right inside. And then everything about this thing is weird. You know, these parts, and it all comes apart. Rubber bands.
Yep, those get lost.
You find non-Lego rubber bands and regular Lego rubber bands in almost every collection. And I know I've thrown Lego rubber bands away. They're not super valuable, so it's not the end of the world. That and they get stretched out easy.
Yeah.
Also, I have a feeling I don't think Lego actually makes their own rubber bands. They buy them.
Yeah, they're pre-packaged separately as well, so yeah.
And so you could actually buy regular rubber bands and probably get matches to use for the same thing. I know in our Gatling gun kit that we make, for the Civil War Gatling gun kit, we use aftermarket rubber bands.
Yep.
And they're identical to Lego rubber bands, so I think they're probably made by the same company.
Yeah, similar manufacturing process at the very least. So, yeah.
So here's a whole bag of those rubber masks from Bionicle, and you see they just have every color. In fact, some of these colors are probably unidentifiable Lego colors.
Extremely unusual. That's like an army green or an olive green. And it really isn't that obvious that it's Lego. It doesn't really say in bold print anywhere. I can see some of the Bionicle language writing on the top, which is cool.
Yeah, they don't say Lego. I don't.
They really don't. No.
But they have that Bionicle language, which no one's going to be. If you don't know, if you can't identify a Bionicle mask,
you're not going to know that language.
You're not going to know the language. And then to make things even harder, we found this just a month ago with our bulk Bionicle. So we have no idea where it came from.
Yeah.
But this is made out of metal. And it was one of 5,000, and it's worth probably about $1,500.
So, yeah, that could have easily been thrown away as a knick-knack that nobody really could have recognized it. Because it doesn't say Lego on it, does it? So,
no, it doesn't say Lego anywhere on it. But it does have that Bionicle language. So I could I'm not, I like Bionicle, but I'm not like a Bionicle fan. I don't think I've ever actually bought a retail Bionicle set.
Definitely not experts in Bionicle
This
lore.
is something I would collect.
Oh yeah.
I would want to get every single mask. And I think you've even, you've never been a Bionicle fan, but you've just recently purchased some Bionicle sets.
I did. I got some of the early Bionicle characters because they're really cool, so that's neat. Yeah, these masks are very detailed, very cool. Yeah. But they don't look Lego. They don't. If you had this in a box of basic bricks, you'd think that was an action figure piece. You
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah. And I'm sure I've thrown in my early days some of those away. The Bionicle heads that you put the masks on. Actually, let's go ahead and see how these masks go on the heads. The heads come like this in all one piece. Okay.
Yeah.
But then when you pull off the back part, that translucent part that makes the eyes glow, that wasn't really made to come off.
Yeah, no. So.
And in fact, you can't get these off. I've tried.
Yeah, I know a guy who knows a technique, but it's borderline breaking the piece. Yeah.
You sound like Ed. You know a guy.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So this is the kind of thing we would say, hey, Daniel, can you figure out how to do this?
Yep, exactly. This is something Daniel would know.
And you just there's no studs or anything. So you just take it and you put it on the front, and his mouth kind of holds the mask in place.
Exactly.
And they really don't stick that well. They fall off a lot. So that's another part that you would never know was Lego if you really didn't know your stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, those rubber Bionicle pieces, we're going to probably have a few more repeats in that genre of piece for sure.
We got more Bionicle, but we can hold off on that and do some other stuff.
I'll bring up one of mine here. Let's see if I can find something weird to talk about. Okay. Well, honestly, in the vein of Bionicle, here's one that's not necessarily from the action figures, but it is from the play sets. If you look on Bricklink and look up Bionicle sets, one of the sub-themes of Bionicle is the play sets, and they were minifigure scale Bionicle figures, sometimes one piece, sometimes multiple pieces. You might even have some over there, Chris.
I did bring some, yeah.
But this base plate is one that I wanted to feature because it's a big, chunky, different type of plastic. Like we mentioned, if it's not the traditional ABS, it can be very weird. One thing that you'll see in Lego, especially from the earlier 2000s, you'll see different color injected pieces. So you got, look, there he is, that's the figure. And so these were from the Paraka series. And they were used as the base for the Bionicle towers or forts or whatever these little action figures were fighting on. And they only came in a couple sets. And they do say Lego on the bottom, so that's better than most of the pieces that we'll be talking about today. But because it actually didn't have any stud points, these pin connectors fit in there, but there's no studs on the piece. I've seen these get, in the process of being thrown away, and I'm like, wait, that's actually Lego.
Yep.
It looks like Mega Bloks, and that's why it gets thrown away.
You're right. So, yeah. There's a big difference between that Mega Bloks plastic shine and Lego shine, and then any fake Lego.
Yeah.
And some people are holding things in their hands and they'll be like, yeah, I've got this minifigure. And I'm like, that's not real Lego. How do you know? And it's like, well, the easiest way is just to look to see if it says Lego. But I can tell because I have a trained eye that tells me that is not Lego plastic.
Exactly. Yeah, but these Bionicle figures are also probably one of the candidates for things that get thrown away, too.
You want to test out Google Lens here? And
Let's do it. See if we recognize our little guy here.
I bet it will. I mean, he's not that.
He's pretty iconic.
They're not expensive figures.
Yeah, none of the Bionicle playset pieces are terribly expensive.
So he comes right up.
Yep, looks like he's for sale for $1 somewhere too.
Baraki Product with black torso. And then one other thing that I had with these guys is they had really strange weapons.
Yeah.
So that was one of their weapons, and I find these in the trash. Our sorters do throw these away. I'm sure they say Lego. Yeah, they say Lego, but they're just really odd. It doesn't even look like a normal Bionicle weapon.
No, not in the least. It looks like one of those, definitely Mega Constructs, Mega Blocks, or one of those pieces. There's another one.
Another odd one here.
So if you're looking for some weird Lego pieces to incorporate in your mock, we got you covered with the Bionicle playset accessories. But yeah, these are definitely candidates for throwing away. And we do find them every now and then at the store, but not like super common. So
didn't I see this in a I feel like I saw one in a castle set, like a fantasy. It wasn't in
They
any
might have
fantasy
been.
sets.
The ones that I looked up on Bricklink were mostly from that Bionicle playset area, but it could have been in something from that area.
You want to try Google Lens on that?
Let's try it out. See if it recognizes it.
I bet it will.
Searching. Yep,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
there.
There it is, and it comes right up. What Google Lens does is it's basically a search. Instead of text, you're using a picture.
Yeah.
And so it's searching the web for those pictures. But
Exactly.
It comes right up. Lego 8892, which is Paraka Outpost.
Yep.
So it's Google Lens is amazing.
I'm gonna have to download it to
Absolutely
my
amazing.
phone because there's times I'll want to know where a piece is from. So
Well, there's a couple new apps out there to help identify minifigures and to say where they came from.
yeah.
Google Lens does the same thing.
Yep.
It's
Exactly.
just
They got
really-
you beat already. So.
Really cool. Yeah.
What else do we got in that bin over there, Chris?
Okay, these are weird. Those are strange.
Oh yes.
So those are, you know what those are. Those are Ben
I do. But only recently. If you had shown this to me even a year ago, I might not have known what this is. I would have probably recognized that axle connector and thought maybe this is Lego, but it's very unusual.
So back in about 2010, maybe, Lego made buildable Ben 10 characters. So it was a licensed theme. Very cool. This was the, like the neck and armor pads for one of them.
Yep, wings.
And those were wings, yeah. And they were actually really cool figures. My son was into Ben 10, so we had gotten all of them at the time.
Yeah.
And they're, Ben 10's got a really neat following. I liked Ben 10.
Yeah, it's a cool, it was a cartoon show.
Yeah.
So.
I wanted to bring in the figures that these went to, but I didn't find any.
I don't think we
They're
have any
pretty
right
rare.
now, yeah.
Yeah.
We've sold a lot in the store, but yeah.
These guys, they were like Bionicles or Hero Factory.
Yeah, same size.
And what they had is, they also had like little rubber horns almost, but they literally only came on one of these characters.
Yep.
And Lego likes to make pieces that go on lots of things.
Yeah.
And these parts only came on Ben 10, and that's it, and they stopped making them.
They were so specific that they didn't really see them again, which is unusual for Lego.
But you could see so much you could do with that. The hair of an Oompa Loompa.
There you go. Perfect.
Isn't that, look at
That's,
that.
yeah, exactly.
The hair of an Oompa Loompa brickheads. Yeah, I feel like somebody should.
I think these wings would make great Lego City hang gliders or stuff, so yeah. But these actually do say Lego. Very, very fine print on there. 2009, the Lego Group. So they would have been produced the year before these sets would have been for sale. So.
Okay, Google Lens did not come up with it.
Oh.
They came up with vacuum cleaner heads.
Yeah, exactly. Another great part features, yeah.
Actually, you could probably use that out of vacuum.
I wonder if it
cleaner.
would recognize the wing pieces. Let's see here.
I bet it does.
Let's test it out. So the first defeat for Google Lens comes at the Ben 10 figure parts here.
Yeah.
This might be more... Nothing there either? Ben 10's
No.
defeating Lego?
Too
Oh.
many different toy wings.
Let's see. Try
So.
the yellow ones too, or we want
Let's
to
see.
continue to test this?
This is fun. It's kind of like fool the.
Fool the AI, yeah.
No way this is coming up.
Yeah.
This is very strange looking. All right. Oh yeah, no, it came up. Yeah.
Oh, that one did
It
come
brings
up.
you to eBay and Bricklink.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this one was identified, but the other two were not. So 1 out of 3 for Ben 10 pieces. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a lot of Bionicle on Ben 10. Let's move to a different theme here. I've got a piece down here I think you'll like, Chris. And I know I've thrown away one of these
Oh,
from
yeah.
my collection. I feel really bad about it now, but this is actually Lego.
Yeah.
It is the biggest, ugliest rock piece that they've ever made. It only came in one set. Do you want to know what set it was, Chris? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, Aquanauts?
Good guess, but no.
Okay.
It's actually Castle.
Really?
Specifically, Fright Nights.
Okay.
So the Trader Transport from 1997, and it was one of those. There's actually going to be a couple of these in the video where there's a set kind of embedded or around a big piece that you can play with. This is one that it doesn't say Lego anywhere. It has a little you can recycle this, which is not a good sign for people who might want to keep these. But yeah, it's a really weird piece. It's not like super valuable, but it's just, you know, you never would think this is Lego.
Was there any play feature with that?
Just that cave. You could put, you know, the people in the cave, the dragon in the cave, whatever you wanted to. So it was pretty fun.
Does it sit flat?
It does, but not
Okay.
not like super convincingly. It's not like amazingly sturdy. But
Actually, it makes a great display piece.
yeah,
Yeah, it looks like you could put figures on the sides here too. So yeah, actually that's pretty cool.
It's not bad at all, but it's definitely not in Lego's normal.
And it doesn't say Lego anywhere.
No. So.
Wow.
So
how about that number? Is that number a Lego number?
I don't think so. I think it's just a plastic manufacturing type thing. So.
Hey, you want to see what Google Lens says about that?
Let's
thing?
figure it out. Let's see if the AI can tell what this is.
If you're just listening at home or wherever you may be in the car, work, this piece is what, 14 inches long, maybe?
Yeah, it's over a foot wide. Yeah, so
it's a huge.
Pretty deep.
Talk about a big ugly rock piece.
Yeah, it's the biggest, ugliest rock piece ever.
Yeah.
So. There you go.
All right, let's see what Google Lens has to say here. So we stumped it with a couple of those Ben 10 parts.
Yeah, it got the Bionicle pretty effectively, but.
Oh yeah,
there's one of them. Yeah,
there it is.
Bricklink.
It also came up with cake molds, and I actually have those cake molds.
Yeah, those Fantasy Castle ones.
Yeah, it was just, I don't use it for the cake mold. It's just a cool looking castle thing.
Yeah. That's amazing. So Google Lens do a pretty good record with weird pieces like this.
Yeah.
But I remember we got this in, and I double checked it because I'm like, I bet you this is actually Lego. And yep, sure enough, Fright Nights, 1997. A lot of weird pieces.
If something has a unique enough shape, I think Google Lens is going to pull it up.
Yeah, that is kind of a specific shape too.
But if it looks like something else, forget about it.
Yeah.
While we're talking about that, here's this basically the same thing.
Yeah.
This is one of our certified pre-owned sets. And let's open it up. Sure. Sorry about the noise here. It's from the. So this is another one of those big backdrop pieces of plastic. It's that same material. It's huge. There it is. And there's the set. I think originally it was cellophaned.
Oh, yep, and here, it would actually be embedded in it right here, I think.
Yep, at an angle. And that's actually sealed new, never opened.
Yeah.
Set 6499, one of the Time Cruiser sets. It says free time machine? Oh, that's this thing.
Oh.
This is the free time machine.
The dashboard of the time machine, yeah.
All right, so I guess after you build the set, though, I don't see any play features in that.
No, you got a sticker, a very sparkly sticker, that will give you some imaginary features.
I got it. There is a play feature. So this has wings, and this is set up so that it flies into the time machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So I really wanted to talk about this one because it's even got that, if not the same number as that last one.
Yeah.
It's like a 8-digit number, and it's got that recycle thing. It says Lego nowhere.
Yeah.
Which also tells me Lego probably didn't even make this.
No, it was probably a third-party packaging company or something like that.
It doesn't feel like Lego. We had one of these, and I keep everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything, and people are getting on me all the time about keeping too much stuff. And so I was like very proud of myself. I said, none of us could identify this. This was about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You and I both looked at it. We couldn't find it anywhere. I don't think Google Lens was really operational at the time. I mean, Google Lens really has upped its game just recently.
Yeah.
And I made the decision to throw it away.
Yep. I remember this one specifically. It's one of the few things you've ever said, all right, I'm just going to bite the bullet and throw it away so we have some space. And little did we know that we'd get the sealed set. I think, did we get this all as an assembly together?
No, I think we needed to wait till we got another one of these in.
Yeah.
And one came in, and somebody was like, hey, Chris, you want to throw this away? I'm like, no!
Not again! Exactly. Oh, my goodness.
So the Time Cruisers, this is the Time Cruisers time machine.
Yep, that's it. I wonder if Google Lens will succeed at this one. This is a big one.
Let's see. I think it will. Oh yeah, it comes right up.
Comes right up. Perfect.
Yep. Gosh, where has Google Lens been all our lives? But it does pull up a whole bunch of other stuff.
Frames.
That one is it. Actually, it came up on Brick Owl.
There you go.
Yeah. And it says a price tag of $100 and out of stock.
That seems a little bit high.
I hope that's not the real price because
you'd feel bad about throwing that away then, right?
For real.
Yeah.
All right. So that's super cool. I like that piece. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to throw anything Lego away unless it's really damaged.
Yeah.
And you even will keep damaged pieces sometimes if you can use it for something.
I do. Like particularly horses and horse armor. If they're even pretty busted up, I'll find a way to salvage them. So, but what do we want to grab next here, Chris? Anything else cool in that bucket of yours here?
Yeah, this one, small pieces.
Yeah.
Small pieces will get thrown away. And this one here, I am sure I've thrown these away because they're old. This goes back to 1999, I believe.
Yep, another late 90s. Yes.
Or early 2000s, because it's the Harry Potter Quidditch
Catcher.
Catcher. Yeah, so I guess this was just used. So the Quidditch ball, I think it came in the Hungarian Horntail set, maybe?
Sounds about right, yeah.
And the Quidditch ball was a little ball that had a metal piece on it or a magnet on it. And this has a metal piece or magnet on it, and it sticks to the ball, and it's the way the minifigure holds the Quidditch ball. And this, I can guarantee you we'll try, but I bet this won't come up on Google Lens. It does say Lego on it, but it's really hard to see.
Yeah. It's also not a regular configuration for a Lego piece at all. Nothing was made like it until much later when they had the little ink and quill stand. So that's a piece that they have now. But back then, this is very unique. So.
It's a unique mold. It does say Lego, and it has the date on it actually too, 2004. But it just, there's too much else out there in the world that looks like this.
That's going to be like a variety of different things. Not a Lego. It's going to think it's a bolt. Yeah.
Almost guarantee you this will not show up, but we'll try it just for the heck of it. Okay.
So a modern Lego piece comes up.
The modern one does, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yep. Definitely don't see it coming up anywhere. Very good.
Very cool.
I don't know how much this is worth. Fortunately, I haven't had to buy one.
Yeah.
But it's got to be at least $20 plus.
Because it's got that magnet in there too. So,
and for a part that tiny, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot for a tiny piece of plastic. So.
That's where it gets more expensive than gold.
Yeah. And a lot of these pieces are, I mean, pretty much all of them are rare. Most of them are valuable. Some of them are not. But this is the one that you could definitely say is valuable. I think most of the Bionicle masks and pieces are pretty valuable too. But some of them are not. Like, and then some of these bigger base plates, they're definitely weird, but I don't think we'd really see them realistically selling for $100 just for the base. So, the playscape. So.
I've got so many parts here. I better speed it up a little.
No, hey, Between the Studs is one of the few chances we can go over an hour comfortably and people will still mostly watch it. So.
All right, let's cover a whole category here.
Sure.
Hoses.
Yep.
You know, Lego made so many different hoses that you're gonna throw some away because they're not the only people that make the hoses. These look like Connects.
They do.
They look like Connects, but they're not. And you do find a lot of Connects pieces that look like this. That's some Connects you find in almost every Lego collection. This one in particular, you know what this is. That's one of your favorite themes.
So this is a fiber optic cable. I think it's technically like a hose or tube. But it's used in the Exaforce line, and the batteries are notorious for running out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So.
And here is the battery box and light for that. And where this was in the Exaforce line, it really is not a very well-made piece.
Yeah.
Lego probably did not make it, but this piece here, this is not hollow.
No, it's a solid rubber piece.
Yeah.
So.
And
it goes.
I bet Lego didn't even make this piece.
Yeah.
But this goes in, and it's just made so that light will travel through it. And you can see it out the end. You can't see it when it's up like this very well.
It just comes out that
But when it's pointed at you, you can see it. It's just really a neat concept. It just didn't work very well.
Wasn't bright enough, in my opinion. So it only was in the Wave 1 of Exaforce sets too. So it was canceled shortly thereafter. So.
And then this gets thrown away a lot too.
It does.
It's got the bottom tubes. It does say Lego, but it's transparent. And you know, it looks like one of those light up bricks that you buy them at Target and Walmart, and it's just cheap Lego that's transparent that lights up.
Yeah.
And cheap fake Lego. And this looks just like that. So I think this probably gets thrown away quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then
other
of course,
hoses, too.
any of your hoses. Back when I had made a train set around my city, when I had it set up at my house, I did not use Lego hoses for my railings to stop the train so that it could speed around the corner at a high speed and not fall off the corner.
Yeah.
I used, it was too expensive, so I went to the Home Depot and I got wire, electrical wire that is the same diameter. And it actually fits in the Lego clips, and it's more solid because it's got that copper wire in the middle.
Yep.
And I use that.
Perfect.
And,
Yep. Guardrails. Yeah.
So that would have been in my bulk Lego collection, and people would have thought that's Lego. But then they would also find this exact same stuff, and it is Lego. So it's hard to tell it apart, especially when Lego's not always making it. This one here, you might have to remind me what this was in. I can't think of what that came from.
This is a very weird Technic piece.
Technic?
Yeah. And I don't know that much about it. I'm guessing it is old dark gray and light gray, so it's definitely pre-2004. But that's about all I know about it. Maybe Google Lens can give us some insight.
It also breaks very easy.
Oh, okay.
You always find these ends snapped off because it's like a very different structure.
It's a very small wire of sorts between the two connectors. So.
Yeah, I would find it hard to believe this one's going to come up.
Google Lens has been pretty good, but this is a weird one. So. No, those look like more technical pieces for actual...
Yeah, a lot of phone cords and definitely no Lego. All right, so we got the hoses covered.
Yep.
There's pretty much all the hoses we could include in this. I
Yeah.
mean, every single one of them is odd.
Rubber, hard to see the Lego logo, and doesn't look like Lego.
Yeah. All right, these are zip cords. That one is, I think that's the Chima one.
That's the Chima one.
That's the Chima one.
This is probably either Air Jitsu Ninjago.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's a little bigger and beefier. That's Bionicle.
So here's 3 different zip cords. I mean, Lego actually made a lot of zip cords.
Yeah.
And what's neat about all 3 of them is they have something in common. They've got Technic pin connectors.
They do.
These 2 have 3 each, but the zip cords are all different. So there's the Bionicle one, and what that did is you put it in the back of the Bionicle character, and you just ripped it, and then these fans that were never stayed on very well would fly up in the air like a helicopter. Very cool feature. I loved it. There were some downfalls. It doesn't stay on the figure when you turn them upside down.
Yep, or even move them around.
Yeah. The connection just wasn't good enough. But I guess if it was too tight on there,
it wouldn't fly.
It wouldn't fly. You know, it wouldn't come off the figure when you rip it. So these you find in the trash. These get thrown away a lot because people don't even know that the Bionicle guys have it. And then these get thrown away a lot.
Yeah. Does that say Lego on it?
I never noticed this before. I can't believe I never noticed this. Okay, couple things. It's got lots of numbers. It's got the part number on it. I don't see Lego anywhere, but on the outside of it, it has all those all that Bionicle writing. Look at all that.
Wow. There's a Bionicle code on it. So.
I never saw that before. That's really cool. But yeah, it does not say Lego.
So easily thrown away because it looks like something you get at a normal action figure dollar store. Those little spin launchers,
or even like in a fan or something. And then this one, I brought the Chima Speedor here, which that could also, that wheel could be thrown away. That's pretty common, thrown away. This was one of my favorites. They did a very good job on the functionality of this. You just rip it, and it's metal, it's heavy, and it flies.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let it fly over there. There's nothing it can break.
No, you're good.
Okay, your phone's over there. I'll aim this way.
There you go. Just aim for that corner. It's gone.
I mean, that was good.
That's awesome.
And then this one came with it's like these for Ninjago,
but bigger,
and it was like a helicopter. Really cool functionality, and I think we're going to see more of these in the future.
Yeah, it's kind of in line with the stun spikes too, how it's like the momentum push and you get it going. It's that fun interactive play feature for a Lego set's great. So.
And you'll notice we got back to Bionicle again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think this could almost be the Bionicle pieces that are thrown away podcast. So, but yeah.
Which are getting expensive because you can't get Bionicle anymore. So don't throw them away.
Yes. Definitely try not to throw away any Bionicle because you could resell it. So.
Bionicle or not, it's still Lego, and people use them, and even Lego uses Bionicle parts in at the time they were making them in their regular Lego sets.
Absolutely, and a couple of Bionicle pieces survived until today. At least the concept of ball joints, a lot of different Technic connections. Yeah. So. Alrighty, well, let me see what I got over here. Oh, I got a good one for you, Chris. Here. So this, you know about this.
Oh gosh, yeah, one of the banes of my existence.
This is notoriously thrown away piece. This little 2-prong flame piece came in only one set on one figure, and it needed 3 of them. So that makes it particularly annoying if one is missing and you need a lot of them. It is the flame piece from Eruptor, which is one of the Rock Raiders, one of the Power Miners rock monsters. In this case, he's a lava monster. He has flames off the top. And it's a cool piece. It's a very unique shape. It does actually say Lego on it, but it's very fine print on the edge of it. It doesn't look Lego, though. It looks like a Mega Bloks or even a Playmobil or something that's totally not Lego. But it is, and it was very important for that character. He's a very collectible figure.
Very expensive, yeah.
Partially because he needs these flame pieces to be complete. It's not just like his 2 arms or even the smaller spikes that are on him, but these, he needs 3 of them. And they're never saved. These are very expensive to buy online. And we've had to buy them online.
Oh yeah, so. Very hard.
Yeah.
And people come in, they'll ask us for, do you guys have one of these? No.
Nope.
But we'll buy your other 1 or 2 that you
exactly. We'll buy the remainder on yours. Yeah. So. But I think we currently have an Eruptor, and that's where I was able to borrow this one from. So.
Make sure it gets back on them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's see, what do you think? Is Google Lens going to recognize that?
This is what it could get because it's a very unique shape. So.
Yeah, I think it does.
I'm guessing it's a brick
I
link.
bet it pulls right up. There it is. Yep. Part number 87957.
That's it. Yeah. Top results is brick link. Yeah. So. But yeah, cool piece. Not necessarily great functionality if you think about the fact that these are easily lost. You need 3 of them to complete the character, and they don't look like Lego, so they get tossed. So.
Yeah. Oh, you're giving that back to me. Now it's my responsibility.
I'll save it over here, so I'll put it away specifically.
It doesn't matter. So along Power Miners, there's another one of the smaller rock monsters. This is a blue one.
Yep.
All their hands their arms were all the same on these small ones, and in the first series, their heads were all the same.
Yeah.
Well, that head comes off pretty easy. And you find that in Lego collections, and the head gets thrown away a lot too.
Yep.
So there's just the head. You would never know that was Lego.
Looks like a little weird rock piece. Yeah. This doesn't look like Lego.
There's no stud connections, and I'm looking on it, and I don't see Lego actually on it. It's just got a series of numbers in there. It's got the part number, and it's in Lego writing. You know what I mean? That font.
So it looks like it might be Lego, but you can't really be too sure.
Yeah, it does not say Lego on it. So also the arms come off. You can pull those arms off and put them on a regular minifigure, and those arms get lost and thrown away.
They also don't look like typical Lego minifigure arms and are easy to toss for that reason. So.
Okay, so this one I actually found in our throwaway trash in the sorting room.
Yeah.
And to me, this isn't one that I would think you would find in there. I mean, to me, it looks like Lego because it's got the pins.
Yeah.
But just the fact that it was in there means people throw it away, right?
Exactly.
Who did it?
It is a weird color.
Will Chidester probably did it.
We'll blame Will C for that.
I bet it was you, Will. All right. But you got the pinholes at the top and then 2 pins at the bottom, and it looks like some type of spool, maybe for string.
Exactly, a reel. Yeah.
It says Lego on it and everything, but what makes it not look like Lego is if you look up close, you can see that it's pearl light silver.
Yeah, it's like a pearly silver color.
Yeah.
And Lego only did that for a short period of time, and they've since gone back to a more metallic silver color. And for that reason, it looks a lot more like a Mega Bloks plastic than a Lego plastic.
Yeah, so. We've got another one of those in here too. This
same color.
I think this is considered a Technic piece. Only came in one set. Came on it's a big engine.
Yeah.
Big ugly engine piece. And It's all it has is the Technic connector pins on it to attach it.
Yeah.
Very specific piece that was used just for that.
And I think that might have even made its way into a rare part video, but for the same reason it's a rare part, it's also easily misidentified and thrown away. So.
It's just that odd color. There's another odd color, and I couldn't even find it, but it's pretty rare. It's that new bright light green.
Yep.
And it does not look like Lego. I would definitely throw that away if I saw one. It looks cheap. It's a very cheap looking plastic, but it's wild. It's like bright. It almost glows.
It's like the safety green color that you'd see on like a construction worker's vest or something, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah. And I think it came out a year or two ago on one series of city sets, and really you haven't seen it again.
Yeah. A few dots things maybe too, but yeah, it's very unusual for sure.
Did we talk about this snot piece?
We haven't, and that's a really good example of something that's thrown away all the time.
Yeah, this probably gets thrown away more than anything else.
Yeah.
It's Bionicle again. It's a snot piece that it's kind of gets launched, stretchy rubber.
Yep.
And what do you call it?
It's technically a squid launcher.
Squid launcher.
And so they would have a little crossbow-looking piece, and you'd set that in there and try and rubber band it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, for when they played Squid Games.
Sure, absolutely. Okay. We'll go with that. But
This came in different colors.
And no Lego anywhere on it.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
And what you could actually buy back in the day, in the early 2000s, is an entire little box, a mini box full of these. Or was it
Squid
a canister?
ammo.
It was a canister too.
Yeah, it might have been either a canister or a box, but they had a little squid ammo set that you could buy.
Yeah.
And
I wonder how much that was, like at 50 cents?
yeah, $1, yeah. Oh man. And now the pieces themselves are actually somewhat collectible because people lose them. So
Yeah.
another one. There you
Got a projectile launcher here, and this looks like the modern ones that you would find in Star Wars.
Yeah, those like lasers, yeah.
Translucent, and it's long. But this one has a rubber grappling hook at the end, and also a place where you can tie a string.
Yes.
And it really looks like something you'd see with a G.I. Joe character or
Action figure.
a Star Wars action figure. And because of that, that gets thrown away a lot. In fact, I can't say that I can tell you where this came from.
I know one example because I bought this set a long time ago, but it's one of the first Jurassic World sets that has the T-Rex Tracker, I think it's called.
Oh, okay.
And it had one in that set. And I remember thinking that's a pretty wild piece with the rubber on it. So
I'm being an action figure collector, this is a very common shape, and you see a lot of the Star Wars and G.I. Joe projectile launchers in with Lego collections.
Yeah.
So I bet it gets thrown away a lot, but it does come right up.
There you go. Yeah.
This time it came right up on Rebrickable.
Gotcha. It's interesting how different Lego sites will come up in different results. So, yeah.
All right. So
yeah, Google's doing pretty good on the identification though. So I think that the takeaway here is if you don't know, feel free to scan it on Google Lens and see if it comes up. So. Right. The Lego NHL hockey puck here. This one conveniently has a big Lego logo on the back side, so it's a little easier than some, but still, it's something you'd never expect. So.
Well, that and the Lego logo it's embedded into it, so you might not even look at it and see that because there's no stud connections, no pin connections. I mean, all it was made to do is to be hit.
Yeah.
And doesn't really fit on anything.
No.
It also has that NHL sticker on it, and that's the only thing that really stands out. Yeah. So if you were to see that NHL sticker, you might say, "Oh, Lego never made NHL stuff, hockey stuff," so you would throw it away. And it's kind of rare.
It is
because of that.
I'm sure they're also lost because it's constantly getting velocity around the room, right? So. It would just disappear under a couch and get vacuumed up, so.
And, I don't want to Google Lens everything, but I really want to Google Lens and see.
We can do most of them.
I wonder if it is going to show us a real hockey puck or what. So at first, it's just coming up with
logos.
NHL logos. That's an actual those are all actual hockey pucks.
Oh, there's one.
There it is, brick out, came right up. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Wow. It identified a Lego hockey puck over a regular hockey puck.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a wrecking ball piece. It's a very heavy rubber weight.
Yeah.
And it came in just a couple city sets, right? Because I feel like this made it onto a rare parts video in the past. But this is, again, something that has no visible Lego. It doesn't say Lego or have any part number on it. It's just a big rubber piece. And it's pretty heavy too. So, yeah, that's awesome.
It is really cool, and it's high quality. And I think they had to make it high quality because it is a heavy rubber plastic piece. It kind of looks like a fishing weight.
It does. If you have a big oceanic fishing,
you could probably use that as a fishing weight.
Probably, actually.
Unless it floats. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's going to be hard to come up with on Google Lens. Let's see.
Looks like you got actual weights.
Definitely not coming up
and...
on Google Lens. Nope. No way. Not even close.
No, yeah. So different metal housings. And
we stumped it on that one.
So yeah, the wrecking ball piece defeats the Google Lens and probably could get tossed if you're not careful and didn't know what set it came from.
Oh, here's a good one for you.
Oh, okay. So back in 2011, or sometimes 12, this little parts pack would have been in the Medieval Blacksmith set at the time, and other smaller sets, and it had a great little assembly of pieces. The weapons are smaller than minifig scale slightly, and there's like a little pack of them. They often would get lost in between in the collection, and this looks like Mega Bloks or Connects or any of those other figures.
Anything else, it doesn't really look like Lego.
They look like Halo weapons, you know? It's like, so.
Yeah, and one of the things they came out with was Heroica. And that's why they're smaller than regular Lego weapons, because Heroica had those micro figures.
Absolutely. They were used in that set as well.
Yeah. So these are smaller than normal minifigure scale. They work with minifigures, but they're just smaller than normal, and that's why they would get thrown away.
They're also not necessarily lower quality, but they definitely don't look like Lego weapons. So.
No, not at all. Let's see what we got here. Oh, look at this big old trash can.
Oh, yeah. So I think this made it onto the rare parts video as well. It does have a big Lego sign on the bottom there, so that makes it easier to identify. Still, it doesn't look Lego, and honestly, I don't even know a single set off the top of my head where this would have come from. So it's pretty awesome. Ooh. But it looks like something you find in Connects or bigger plastic toys.
So these are really interesting. Those are really old.
Yeah, these are the light housings for the old 9-volt lights. And these were hard to find back then because they would have come in a slightly more expensive or collectible set. But finding them now is very difficult just because of their age, and they really don't have any Lego identification on them at all. They do fit on Lego pieces, but that's about all.
I think those could date back to the 70s even.
Absolutely.
Maybe possibly earlier.
Yeah.
And, there was a regular white light that came up out of the brick, and then those covered that white light to change the color of it.
Absolutely.
You don't see these ever.
No, and they're probably hard to find in Bricklin too. So.
What they look like today is that Bionicle eye, and I think we have one here. I think I brought one to show off.
Those pieces are actually made to look like them, but they have a solid inside and a pin on the bottom, so that they're able to attach to more modern sets. So.
Those Bionicle eyes are kind of small and get lost a lot, which is why I was going to include it in the video, because they are thrown away a lot, and they kind of look like Light Bright pegs. And Light Bright was a really popular toy back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So it ended up, it's about that size that would be in good quality plastic that would end up in a Lego collection. So I find Light Bright pegs in Lego collections all the time. Well, just in the past few years, they came out with this new candlestick as well. And this candlestick, that looks just like a Light Bright peg.
Absolutely, or even a Battleship peg.
And I would throw this away in a heartbeat. You're right, yeah, Battleship as well. And I wonder if that would even come up.
If Google Lens can identify that.
Yeah, it's not super rare. It's just, so you get lots of odd things, lots of tools, lots of hardware.
Rotary dampers. Yep,
There it is, unrebrickable. Yeah.
It did find it, but it's not the first result. It's probably the 12th result. But
yeah. You just get a lot of other odd stuff. A lot of electricity-related stuff.
Yeah.
So I was surprised when I saw that, how much it looked like those old Light-Brite things that I would throw away.
Yeah.
Because I knew those were not Lego. But I bet I've thrown some of these covers away as well.
Yep, I'm sure throughout the years. Anything that's pre-1980s is especially rare in the first place, but yeah.
One thing I had on here was this chrome mug. Because that's an older piece.
Yeah, Scala. It's early and late 90s, so yeah.
But then they also put it on that Bounty Hunter chase set from Star Wars.
They did.
Yeah, that was very one of the first Star Wars sets. It was Anakin and Obi-Wan chasing after Zam Wesell. And it was on, I think it was on Anakin and Obi-Wan's cruiser.
Yeah,
car.
It's kind of like a headlight, yeah.
It was their headlights. Two of them were on there, and it just doesn't look like a normal Lego cup.
No.
It's very different shape.
Yeah, it's bigger scale, and that scale can really help determine whether you identify something as Lego. And Scala figures were bigger than Lego. They were more like the size of small Barbie dolls. And so this piece is bigger than Lego. The chrome is special. It does say Lego on the bottom. It does have the part number down there, but not everyone's looking at the bottom of the cup to check. So.
While we're talking about Belleville and Scala, here's another one there, that teddy bear.
A little bit terrifying looking, but nonetheless very much Lego. And you can just barely make out the Lego imprint on his back there with the part number too. So, but minifigure can grab the arm and hold him.
Oh, really?
Yep. So that's the only connection point, really, because his legs don't have any stud connections.
They actually put that in a couple Lego sets. Can you think of one?
Not off the top of my head. I know it was pretty prevalent in Belleville.
The Toys R Us store.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It was a toy inside the Toys R Us store.
Yeah. Now, they've made a newer teddy bear mold that has a stud connection on the bottom that's smaller, and I think they're using that nowadays, but this is a weird old piece for sure, and very much easy to throw away. So.
Yeah. Also, the plastic is a little different.
Yeah, it's smoother.
So that's kind of the case with all the Belleville stuff and the Scala stuff. Snap. We could have brought Snap in here to show off. That looks a lot like Connects.
I think it was inspired by Connects, actually. So,
We've got a drawer of Snap parts out there. I don't think anyone has ever asked for one or we've ever been in it to get anything out of it.
We've sold a Snap set or two, but mostly just because of the novelty. It's so weird. So
It's such a weird thing. And then something else I did not bring in were watch links. And I don't believe those are actually, they say Lego on them, but they're not made by Lego. It is a little bit different plastic.
It is.
And it's not compatible with anything.
Yeah, just themselves. So, yeah. Steven has a bunch of those in some very weird colors, too.
Bet he does.
You can go back and watch our Lego Watch podcast from a few episodes ago as well.
It's good. It's me and Steven just nerding out over watches, and he really got me hooked on Lego watches, that's for sure.
They're cool.
Oh, here's one that gets thrown away all the time, I'm sure. That's one of the Infinity Stones.
Yes, it's bead size, even smaller than bead size. Has a tiny little plume connector point. That's it for Lego connections.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, this is just easy to lose, let alone throw away. So.
Oh yeah.
And they came on a sprue, and they had extras, I think, per set. So you got like 3 or 4 per set, right? So that included one. So you did have backups in case you lost one. They probably were assuming people would drop and lose these. But man, it's like the pinhead size, So.
One frustrating thing about these is that they make a lot of fake ones. All the fake companies are making these.
Oh yeah, because they were expensive.
I don't think it says Lego on it.
No.
And they're not expensive anymore because it was in the advent calendar, and they're just kind of putting them in everything now. But I remember when these first came out,
there was
I think it was the yellow one. It was
hot
like
commodity.
$10.
Yeah. $10, $12 for a little stone like that was insane. So.
Yeah. Accessories get thrown away a lot. Minifigure accessories. This is an Atlantis treasure token, I think it's called. I like these. I think they're really cool.
Yes.
Very much like the Monster Hunters stones.
Gemstones, yeah.
This is a translucent yellow one with gold on it. It just doesn't look like Lego.
It does not. This is a very unique piece for its time. And it looks like it does say Lego down there, but it's not easy to read because it's in a very weird spot. But yeah, this is something that could easily get thrown away thinking it's like a bead or a pendant or something non-Lego. But yeah, and this is also a rarer piece too because it only would have been like 1 or 2 per the line that it came in. So it's a rare piece, weird piece. It's going to get tossed. So.
You've got one of these pieces.
Oh yes, so this is the limb of a Galidor figure, and so Galidor is notorious for having very little interactivity with normal Lego pieces. The only thing you got there is the pin connection and the ratcheting, which is similar to some other Lego pieces. But yeah, nothing else in this is even remotely similar to Lego. Different feel to the plastic, and yeah, very weird. I don't think they even say Lego anywhere on them either. Yeah. No.
It is a...
Oh, no, there it is, on the pin.
It's a very high quality plastic.
It is.
Yeah.
They're not, they weren't necessarily cheaply made, but they were very, very different. And most Lego fans don't even know what this is.
Yeah.
A few do and just buys them, and then there's a few crazy people like myself who love these and collect these. So,
And
you know.
I can guarantee you that I've thrown these away.
Yeah, and action figures and other things.
And
like
I saw you had one.
I did, yeah. Well, actually, let me while we're talking about Galidor, let me bring it up. So I had this here as well in case we didn't cover it in your bins. But so this is a even worse example. This is a McDonald's exclusive. It came in a Happy Meal during the time, and it's 3 pieces, and no actual stud connections. This is a rubbery. It looks like an axle, but it's not. And so it only fit with itself, even though it is technically Lego. And I think it might not. Yeah, it says 2002 Lego in a very different font. And the reason is, I brought this is because people will actually intentionally throw these away. Not just unintentionally, but they know that this is not even barely worth $1, and they will throw it away. So, yeah.
And, you
but
know,
I love it.
It says Lego on it, and
Right there.
I don't think it was made by Lego, though.
No.
And it's that McDonald's plastic, and there's some more McDonald's plastic right there.
Yes. So this would have been like the racers, the precursor to the Speed Champions, which were massively successful. The racers were only kind of middling. They weren't like a massive hit. So.
That's got to be a different shade of blue.
It is. It's more metallic.
And it's definitely like more of a Tyco or Mega Bloks plastic.
Yeah. The studs say Lego, but it definitely doesn't feel like Lego.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was made in a Tyco or Mega Bloks factory. I'm not kidding.
Yep. The font is the same as Lego. You see 2009 Lego under there, but it's definitely, it's got a weird sticker.
And the studs have Lego on top.
They do.
Yeah.
So it's close to being authentic, but it's so weird and it's so chunky and it's different color and all those factors are gonna add.
And this gets thrown away a lot. And this is one of those things that it's totally okay.
Yeah, yeah. Again, it's worthless. Just like the Galidor McDonald's one, it's
really
also worthless.
Is. It does. It's got the part number. It's got the year 2009, and it has the part number for Bricklink.
I'm curious if Google Lens will identify that. You want to test it out?
I bet it does.
It's a very unique shape.
Yeah.
We'll see if that'll come up on its search results here.
Okay, so far those are all actual like Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah. Not quite.
Wow, it did not.
It did not come up.
Not at all.
So.
Huh.
Not yet. Wow.
There are too many other toy car companies that make stuff that look just like it.
I see several Hot Wheels sized cars that look a lot like this.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
There you go.
A lot of times these will also say McDonald's on them. I think that Galidor guy does too.
Probably somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, and actually that one was traded in recently by a customer of ours.
Yes.
Ryan with M&R Productions.
Exactly.
I can't imagine he didn't want him. He probably picked it up as a joke at a convention.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. I'm surprised he traded in. This is a pretty hard to find. Yeah. So.
Yeah. He is
not rare,
find.
but yeah.
Not rare, but he's hard to find because people do throw them away. I've been to yard sales before, and somebody will be like, they'll have something like that, and I'm like, oh, do you have any more Lego? Oh, I don't have any Lego, and I'm like, I'm holding one.
Exactly. This is like,
and it's like, or they're like, no, somebody just came and bought it all, and I'm like. Oh, well, and I'm thinking to myself, they didn't buy it all.
Yeah.
I got this guy.
Exactly.
That is a very strange piece.
This is a perfect example of something that would get thrown away.
Yes.
Because it's a perfectly smooth plastic ball. Looks like something you get out of a ball pit.
A ball pit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is Lego, though. It doesn't say it anywhere. It's very smooth. I think this would have been Mindstorms educational style sets, right?
Yeah, they made red and blue.
Yeah. And they also had gray ones in the Indiana Jones sets that were similar in diameter to this.
That gray one, so this one might be worth $1. I don't think they're very expensive. The gray one, last I checked, and this was like 6 years ago. Fortunately, I haven't had to buy one lately. It was over $30.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, this one, affordable because it was only used in a specific purpose in a set that wasn't like immensely popular or important compared to Indiana Jones.
So for Google Lens to identify this,
this is impossible.
It would have to pick up the shine of the plastic.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's just got yoga balls, right? Yeah.
Walmart balls, yeah. Walmart.
Nothing.
Juggling ball.
There you go.
It's a good size for
now,
juggling.
ironically, a lot of those pieces are going to be close to the same size and make...
Yeah, and they look just like it.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I bet this was another thing Lego actually didn't make.
Yeah.
They had it made.
I doubt it. There's no Lego logo on it, so they just had a company make it for them. So.
Oh, there's no logo on it.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I did see a number 4 on there, but...
Nothing.
Yeah.
Speaking of balls, that at the time was very unique too.
Yes.
That only came in. This is 2 pieces.
Would have been in the Fantoka series of Bionicle, so yeah.
Yeah, it was in it was like the heart of the Bionicle guy. It
Yeah,
had
they
like
drop
a
it.
cage
Yeah.
that surrounded it. I would not be. I've found this in the trash before. Number one, because it's like comes in 2 pieces.
Yeah, it looks like a brain or something, but it's not. It's just an orb.
They're actually relatively expensive, a couple bucks, I would say.
Yes.
But it also came in the Home 1 set for Star Wars. It was
right.
that ball in the middle of the console.
Like a Death Star plans type thing, yeah. So.
And they did make this in a couple different colors. I think there was a marbled one for Bionicle.
Yeah.
So
That actually would have held a piece that I don't think we have here today, but it's that little blue rubberized spike ball that has a mouth. And that would have been used in the Fantoka as well. So that would have dropped and released those as a little play feature. But because it was so...
Not that one.
No, that's a different one. Another Bionicle piece, of course. But those little rubber, they're like a light blue color. And I don't know the name of them, but they are very hard to find too.
So this is another spike ball. And I would say out of all of the Lego parts I've ever pulled out of the trash, I pull this one out of the trash more often than anything else in our sorting room. The kids always throw this away, and I'm constantly like, guys, this is Lego. Don't throw it away. I mean, it's not worth a whole lot.
No.
It's definitely a Bionicle piece.
Oh, yes. It would have been used in the launchers from, I'm not sure which wave of Bionicle, but it would have been a little thing you squeeze and it just shoots it out. And because it's got these rubber spikes, it just bounces all over the place. It's great. So
Let's see if that comes up here. I bet it does.
It might.
It's pretty unique.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, right. It comes right up.
That's good.
On pretty much everything.
It's a little Bionicle spike ball. Very cool. We still got more Bionicle and Hero Factory stuff too, don't we?
Yeah, hey, in fact, we just talked about McDonald's. So these guys get thrown away a lot. Number one, because people don't know what Bionicle is.
Yeah.
And then 2, it is made by McDonald's, so it's not Lego plastic.
There's no Lego connections, none of that. It just vaguely looks like a bigger Bionicle action figure.
Yeah, and I've got another one.
Yeah, they don't have it that much resemblance. Oh,
That's pretty cool, huh?
The working saw blade. That's pretty fun. This guy doesn't have any necessarily working features other than his claws. Yeah, that's interesting. And I don't think it will say Lego on it either, will it?
It does, yeah.
It does? Oh, there you go.
It says 2005, I think it does. And it says, made for McDonald's, China, TCB. So I bet TCB, whatever company that is, actually made these. But there's actually a couple features here. Lots of moving limbs, the saw blade, and light goes in their eyes and their eyes glow.
Yeah.
And I like these guys.
They're cool.
I think they're a must-have for any Bionicle fan. But they're not expensive.
Yeah, I see that on the foot now. You have 2007 Lego Bionicle, and then the other foot you have made for McD's, made in Vietnam. There you go. TKH, so maybe a different company or plant. So interesting.
And then we've got, along the same lines, we've got these Hero Factory style buildable figures that the DC universe came out with. Actually, DC and Marvel came out with some.
Yeah. And this is just the remnants of one, but this has the Batman head there. There was also a Joker, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there was the Joker, and I think I brought a piece. There's Iron Man.
There you go. These are parts of them here. You got a Captain America. I know there was a Hulk as well, because he was pretty iconic.
Yeah.
So.
And what's interesting about these is it's not necessarily their bodies that get thrown away, because these do look like Lego plastic and Hero Factory parts, which a lot of people are familiar with. But what is unique is their heads.
Yes.
And Mega Bloks was also making very similar figures at the time for Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
And you can find a Mega Bloks head that looks very similar to that Iron Man head.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So people throw away the heads.
Yeah. They have a very unusual style for the heads, and that's going to get tossed because they don't recognize them. It's a very limited run of sets. Oh, there's Green Lantern. There we go.
Yeah, there's Ryan Reynolds right there.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing.
And
these are very weird.
The same thing with Chima.
Exactly. The Chima pieces and heads. And what's funny is I remember it was a while ago, a customer came in looking for these in particular because they're useful for modeling other things out of. These head pieces, because they don't look Lego. They look like something you could use as, I think he was trying to create jewelry. So it's pretty interesting.
That's right.
You don't remember that?
Yeah. Create a ring. Yeah.
We helped him. We found him a gorilla head, and he really liked that one. So, yeah.
So these are Hero Factory parts.
Yes.
That they're made out of, and here's a Hero Factory figure, and Hero Factories started this new attachment with these two little nodules, I guess.
Yeah.
That you would stick things in, and so there's the Hero Factory logo. And that's just not a traditional Lego connection point.
No.
So
the double pins. Yeah.
Those double pins, there's another part there with those double pins.
These get thrown away.
Yeah, they get thrown away a lot. I think they made some flame pieces that'll stick in there. And these horns, your traditional Lego horns and claws will stick in there.
Yeah.
But
it's a bar length.
All of those little attachments get thrown away because they're not traditional Lego attachments.
Yeah, I don't think this one, it doesn't even really have the Lego logo anywhere, this one in particular. And so it's easily misinterpreted. So.
And then it's hard to stay away from Bionicle and Hero
Or
Factory.
Hero Factory, yeah.
They do use these parts on other Lego builds. So this one is really weird. This is, and I know you love this one. These are so cool.
It's one of my favorites.
These are the Hero Factory, what are they called?
This is actually like a pod that they would have had a kaiju-looking animals come from. So it was like a hatchling thing. It was really quite unusual.
I mean, if you were to find that in a Lego collection, you would probably throw it away.
It only has one connection point, which is that axle. It's very kind of hidden away in there. So if you saw that, that just looks like a weird
Does it say Lego?
Piece. Probably not. No, I don't see it.
I don't see it.
Oh, no. On the inside of that leaf, I see 2013 Lego. I think it also might have a part number there. But it's very hard to read because it's rubber. So.
Okay, I still don't see it.
Yeah. It's small in there, but yeah.
And then it's held together by a tri-axle holder.
Exactly, a connector there.
Yeah.
But it has a little bit of a flexibility there. You can move it in and out, so it opens up and closes. So.
What's so neat is it's like a Venus flytrap, and you can put an entire minifigure inside that.
Exactly. So. And I know that Daniel used a green one of those for his Citron display because it looks like a prototype part. And so he was glad that they did make those, in fact.
So this is such an odd thing, and this goes back to here. Is this Hero Factory Bionicle?
That's Bionicle.
That's Bionicle.
Later Bionicle. So.
The later Bionicle had these like pneumatic guns that they held, and the little bullets are what gets thrown away a lot.
Yes. One small connection point at the bottom. It fits inside the bar, just like those pieces we were talking about for Hero Factory. But other than that, looks nothing like Lego. So.
And even if it said Lego, you wouldn't be able to see it because it's just a small piece.
Yep, I see the 2006 Lego hidden in there. Yep,
it's there. And they get lost a lot because you're shooting them.
Exactly.
Let's see how well these shoot.
Let's see. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That works almost as good as those
Yeah.
ball launchers, which is probably something else you have in the bin there, too.
Yeah, and they made these so that they stick inside those little nodules that we were just looking at, so that the Bionicle or Hero Factory figure could actually hold extra ammo
Exactly.
on his body. So that's kind of cool. And you'll find those stuck on Bionicle figures a lot. Oops. There was another part that reminds me of tank treads.
Ah, yes.
So you'll see a lot of these in the, they're black. These little tiny rubber black pieces. Do you even know what it's called?
I don't know. I think it's like a little tank tread pad or adapter.
Yeah.
I don't know. So.
And they stick inside the Technic tank treads to give it grip.
Yeah, because the piece itself is very smooth plastic. It doesn't grip to a smooth table surface or.
So I think one of your favorite sets, the Fortrex from Nexonites, came with a bunch of black ones of these, and that was the first time I noticed it.
Yes.
And I was like, "What is that? That's an actual thing." And you take it and you put it inside each one. But they don't stick great because they're rubber, and you find them all over the place. And I would throw those away.
That looks like something from a piece of furniture that you assemble and put on the
Yeah.
bottom of a chair leg or a cabinet. So it's very different.
And I could guarantee those don't say Lego on them.
Yep. And I know that Steven has a Wally Lego set. It didn't have any of those when that kit was made, so he had to acquire some of those and put them on so that it gripped better and he could roll it around. So
I could see that.
It's interesting. So, yeah, another amazing piece that gets tossed on the regular basis. So.
Any of the Friends or Elves accessories get thrown away a lot because they're very different looking. They have a different shape to them.
Maybe different scale.
Shine to them.
Yep.
Different colors, of course. That there is a key from the Elves series.
Yep.
And it doesn't actually look like a key.
Yeah, it's a very unusual shape for sure. It looks almost kind of like a wand or even a laser gun, if you can imagine. It just doesn't look like a key. It's big and it's ornate. It doesn't have that key.
I always thought it looked like a guitar.
That too, yeah. Very cool. But yeah, it's a neat piece, and this is actually a pretty valuable piece, isn't it? Right? Because you need these in the story.
I don't know.
Yeah. So a lot of Elves pieces have gone up in collectability since the show ended and the series ended. So
yeah. I mean, I don't mean to be rude or anything, Mark, but I don't know and I don't care.
Well, thankfully, I don't think we have a ton of
I
Elves.
didn't just say that. Cut that out. Cut it out.
Thankfully, I don't think we have a ton of Elves fans watching our content, so hopefully they won't be too upset. But.
There's a lot of. I love the dragons.
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
The dragon eggs are super cool. I don't think we have them here, but
Yeah, that's an odd one.
So this is the tail from the Angry Kitty, and it's also this piece is used as a car cleaning, car wash piece.
Car wash.
Yeah, and that was in Lego City sets from way back in the day, and it absolutely doesn't look like Lego.
Not at all.
Looks like the bottom of a Bissell. You know?
I didn't even know that was Angry Kitty's tail.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought it was. I found it on Angry Kitty, and I was like, oh, somebody did that. That's cool. I just assumed it was an old car wash piece.
So it comes in blue, green, and red with this set, but yeah, it's a very weird piece.
Because they've been making that for a long time, actually.
They have, yeah.
Let's see if Google Lens will pick that up.
This is more than one piece, so we'll put that right there. Yeah.
Very bizarre. I wouldn't be surprised if you got some kind of fruit coming up with this.
Yeah, exactly. Pineapple. There you go. Nope. A lot of those
all those squish balls.
Yep, with the little stringy ends.
It fooled Google Lens.
There you go.
Nice.
Too many results that were similar to it. So. There you go.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yep. But that's an interesting
The blue
piece.
one might come up. I don't know.
Yeah, the blue or green. Yeah.
I think the blue one is more common than the red one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because that was the old city color for it. Yeah.
We were talking about another Hero Factory Bionicle ball, and that is it. That's just a weird one right there.
That is like a. It was used also on a turret for a Republic gunship front as well, but in different colors. So because it doesn't have any studs, it does have a place where it can fit into studs, but not easily. It does say Lego way down in there, but you know, it looks like something that would get thrown away.
And it's marbled, so it's not a normal Lego color.
Absolutely not. So,
yeah. Oh, look at that. Sorry, it's hard to stay away.
This is wacky. You see this? This is like a disc launcher here. Oh, wow, that's got some velocity.
Actually a really rare McDonald's toy.
It is.
I don't know for certain that this is a McDonald's toy, but I'm just assuming it is. It has to be.
It's 2006 Lego and also has a big Bionicle logo on the disc too. So, but if you lose that disc, this guy doesn't look that Lego. I mean, you can see some Technic pin connections, but if you're not too familiar with it, this is a...
I've never seen that style before.
I have not either. This is really cool. As a Lego fan who likes weird Bionicle stuff, this is pretty neat. But yeah. And it looks like a Piraka with the big toothy grin there.
So Bionicle made all these shooting discs, which is what that is supposed to resemble, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And these discs are not Lego plastic. They're very different, different colors and designs. This is something that you can collect, though. These are really cool.
Absolutely.
I like them a lot. But just like any other Bionicle part, it's going to get thrown away by people who don't know Bionicle.
Exactly. And they also kind of look like, these are some Throwbot designs on here, too. This one I think is Bionicle. But yeah, Throwbots were popular for
Then I think these were the precursors to those. These are...
Robo Riders?
Robo Riders, yeah.
I think so. But yeah, these are more three-dimensional, but also easily thrown away. That looks like any other plastic toy from that era.
It does, yeah.
Late 90s. But that is really cool. They got the little prints on them, too. So that's awesome.
Pretty high quality.
They are, yeah. But definitely not Lego's traditional brick and knob configuration. So.
Oh, and then here's another one of those, but it's glow-in-the-dark.
That's cool.
That's really neat.
And the sad thing about glow-in-the-dark is, because it's that different plastic color, it usually gets, you don't see it as Lego because it's not red or yellow or blue. It's very different, and so it's cool to see that.
Doesn't make much glow-in-the-dark stuff. I wish
not
they
enough.
would make more.
Not enough.
So we talked about rubber bands, and you find these all the time.
Yeah.
And I might be wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong. All this is a rubber band holder.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's it. It's probably the most expensive rubber band holder because it's very high quality Lego plastic.
It is.
And it came in the Bionicle sets.
Yep, and 90s sets.
And it has two pinholes, so you could use it as a piece.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Oh, bye-bye. I'm sure there's a lot of functionality to it that you could use in something. Have you ever used it?
I've seen it used in mocks, but I've never personally used it. I have a handful at home. They are very unusual and weird.
But those came in every Bionicle set that had rubber bands, and all it did is it held those rubber bands.
And I'm not sure about this, but I think that piece could have been encouraged to be thrown away because it was just designed to hold rubber bands. Like, there wasn't really any intent for that piece. It was an extra thing. So it's very interesting.
So you're saying the instructions might have shown a picture of it flying into the garbage can?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm actually, I wouldn't be that surprised if it was that way. I have a vague memory of something along those lines. At least that was the opinion, so, yeah.
This is really strange. Are we sure that's Lego?
It is. It's a Fabuland tree. And boy, it's weird. It doesn't have any Lego on the bottom that you can see. And it's just, oh no, there it is. Look, see, there's a Lego logo right above the top. The fact that we're questioning whether this is Lego or not is great.
I would throw that away today.
Yep, and it is. And so it wouldn't really, it could fit on a base, but it wouldn't snap. It's got that smooth ridges in the bottom. And it's harder, like a firmer plastic. It almost feels like wood.
It does, yeah, it's really strange.
Let's see if Google Lens will identify that piece.
What year would that have been
This is probably Fabuland, so I'm thinking it's going to be late 70s, but I'm not sure. So.
I think I actually played with Fabuland as
it 80s
a toddler, and it was early 80s. But yeah, it comes right up. Look at that.
There you go.
Fabuland. And let's pull it up. There it is on Bricklink. So when you click on it, it takes you right to the Bricklink listing. And then you can see what date it is, 1979.
So I was just barely right on that one.
Only came out in 1979.
Okay, well, we'll split the difference.
10
it's just
sets,
about 80.
1979. I played with Fabuland as a kid, but I didn't consider that at the time as being a child. I didn't call that Lego.
Yeah, it was just toys.
Yeah.
So. Very cool.
Boy, we're really narrowing it down. Now, I brought this tire. It doesn't look that special, but it's special enough that it ended up in our trash.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you would throw that away, but obviously one of our sorters didn't think that was Lego.
It is, though. This is from the, like a dirt bike.
Yeah, and I think when you get those, they're usually already on the wheel, so you don't see them off the wheel that often. So it does look a little different. Being a dirt bike tire, it's skinnier.
Yep.
And
it's not as common.
Not as common, yeah.
I'm sure a lot of more unusual Lego tire rubber pieces are quickly thrown away all over the world every minute. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of different Lego tires out there.
Yeah, it's most of the time you can actually get a number or identifying mark on them. This one doesn't seem to have it, and that also would encourage them to not. I do see Lego on the side there, but that's about it. Very small. Oh my goodness, yeah. So very hard to identify. So
we had showed that NHL hockey puck earlier. This is a face mask from that figure.
Yep.
And that figure was it was such a weird figure. I think it was probably considered Technic.
Yes.
But that is definitely a Bionicle connection.
It is for the mask, yeah.
It fit on your traditional Bionicle face, I think. So there were a lot of Technic and Bionicle parts on those hockey players.
Yeah.
That's just weird because even if you know Bionicle, you know it well enough that that's not Bionicle.
Yeah. It's so even a Bionicle fan would be weirded out by that piece. So,
yeah. And it doesn't look like hockey either.
No. It looks weird and terrifying.
You know what it looks like? A tiki mask.
It does kind of look like that. I bet you Google Lens will get stumped on this or solve it right away. So.
I think Google Lens will come right up with it because it is so unique.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look like anything else.
Let's see. Oh, it came up with Bionicle masks.
Oh, okay. So
that is another one of its counterparts right there.
Yeah, okay.
But not the same mold, similar.
It did pretty good then.
There it is.
There it is, yep. Okay, interesting.
So, that's pretty interesting. It took a page of results, but it did identify it eventually.
Just quickly going through, we've got Zammer Spears.
Yep.
They made probably 50 different colors.
Exactly, and different, multicolored too.
Yeah, and a lot of them even look like the same color, but they're just a little bit different. And, you know, most of them are going to be 10 to 20 cents each.
Yep.
But there are some out there that are going to be over $10.
Sheesh.
Especially, can you think of the most expensive one?
I'm thinking like different yellows.
Unless there's a really rare Bionicle one that I don't know about, it's the one from the Tower of Orthanc.
Of course, the kind of orangey colored one, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome.
But they didn't just come out in Bionicle sets; those came out in quite a few different sets, including the Build-A-Zurg.
Yes.
Yeah, from Toy Story.
And probably, I know that there was one used in a more recent Marvel Infinity War set with Wakanda. They had a turret,
Yep.
So they had a launcher for that too. So spheres being used. Yeah.
And I'm a shooting guy. I'm an ammo guy. So I love stuff like that.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of paintball. It's about almost the same size. So.
It is, yeah. And people who don't know better would think, oh, you use these in your great ball contraptions.
Exactly. No.
But actually, you don't. You use the soccer balls, and these are different dimensions. So these wouldn't actually work in the standard great ball contraptions. And they don't say Lego on them.
Yeah.
And they look just like marbles.
Yep.
So you find a lot of marbles or different plastic balls or spheres in Lego collections, and you throw those away. And I bet a ton of these get thrown away along with those marbles.
They're in landfills all around the world. I got a piece here for us, Chris. This is second to last piece for me because you have some larger pins. But this is a Technic figure helmet. And because it's such a different size, like we've mentioned on other things like Scala and Belleville, it doesn't register as a Lego helmet, although it is. It even, I think, has Lego on the visor, and underneath it says Lego as well. No year, but it does have a part number, 2715. And this black one only came on one figure. So it is kind of rare. It's maybe $1 in Bricklink, though, so not very expensive, but easily thrown away if you don't know what's going on, because it looks like an action figure race car driver
Yeah.
head. It doesn't look like a Lego figure. So
Yeah, I
it's
bet
bigger.
that gets thrown away all the time.
Yeah.
Like a G.I. Joe guy helmet or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not keeping action figures, then that's gonna go. So.
All right, I think this could be my last item I've got here. I mean, I could go on all day about this stuff, but what these are the clothing.
Yeah.
So any kind of cloth. Lego comes out with so many different cloth things. They've probably been coming out with cloth items since the 60s, is my guess.
Yeah. Or thereabouts. because
But that right there, do you know
Look at
whose
that.
skirt that is?
I don't know whose it is, but I'm guessing it's some Scala or Belleville going on here.
So that is Cinderella's skirt and Minnie Mouse's skirt.
Perfect.
Duplo.
Duplo. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, and quite often, given that they're Duplo and there's kids playing with them, you know how kids love to take the skirts off. Any clothing.
Any
You know.
accessory is going to get removed and lost.
All my daughter's Barbie dolls were butt naked.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's the first thing you take off. So we have a lot of Minnie Mouses that don't have the skirt. What happened to the skirt? It got thrown away.
Yep. Absolutely. It doesn't look like Lego at all. It's a piece of fabric.
It doesn't. I'm gonna say it doesn't say Lego.
Oh, yeah,
without
no
even
way.
Looking at it, there's no way this says Lego.
Yeah.
So, I bet Lego didn't make this part either.
Well, the last one I've got, Chris, over here is pretty similar to that Fabuland tree we're looking at, but these are just for generic city pieces.
Yeah.
The first one is these ones.
Wow.
You got these plastic tree pieces, which look like they came from a very inexpensive train set from back from whenever. And then you got this slightly more detailed granulated tree piece, which is very cool.
Which looks like a artwork from the 70s.
It really does. And what's
Yeah.
interesting, you mentioned 70s, Chris. This came out as early, let me see if I have my notes here. Okay, so this is from 1967 to 1969. These flat ones came out.
Wow, that's as old as Ed is.
Yeah. Very old pieces, and it's surprising that there's still quite a few of them available still. And then these granulated ones came from 1969 to 1972.
Okay.
So that's the era that they were available in. This one actually does say Lego. The other ones have nothing to connect them to that, but just other than a picture. So yeah, some really weird pieces. And I have a handful of these, but the store has a whole bag of them. You can see them here.
Yeah.
And they're surprisingly, you can get these on Bricklink, especially from Europe, for about $1.
Yeah.
So 60s Lego, very cool, and still very accessible. So.
This is the kind of thing where any Lego collection should have something like this.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's just nostalgic. Get it while you can. Get it cheap. You know, does that connect to Lego?
That one certainly does.
Wow.
These do not. Now this one is kind of like the Fabuland tree where it can rest on Lego studs, but not snap. And because Lego's plants are much more iconic than, I mean, these are cool, but they're not necessarily recognizable as Lego. Now, you know, the Lego trees have these lines through them. They're very, you know, most people can identify that. These, no clue at all. This looks like something from a train kit or something else.
Board game.
Yeah.
I guarantee you I have probably thrown 100 of these away.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised either.
It doesn't say Lego.
It doesn't. And it looks like it's very transparent plastic. This is early in their production, 60s. So this and maybe some HO scale cars would have been lost back in the day, if you think about it. So
Yeah, we actually should have brought in one of our HO scale cars. We have quite a few of them.
well, they're saved away in a vault somewhere, I'm
But
sure.
they look like Matchbox cars. And Matchbox cars, honestly, your typical Matchbox car has been played with pretty well. It's not worth anything.
Yeah.
And we do throw them away.
Yeah. We
I
throw
just-
Hot Wheels away all the time. So
I just hope our sorters aren't throwing away
the Lego ones, yes.
Yeah.
Well, the cars actually do say Lego on the bottom, so they should at least check that. But yeah, so. But that's, I think, all the time we have for today as far as parts that are thrown away. I think that was a pretty comprehensive list of items, though, Chris.
Oh yeah, we could go on forever though.
There's more, for sure. But this is definitely, I think Bionicle is the main culprit, and there's lots of other things that fall through the cracks as well. So.
Oh, while we just talked about the trees. I was thinking about those signs.
Yes.
And these are the HO scale signs, I think, as well.
Exactly.
That were in the sets, and that has that same odd connection part on the bottom.
Yeah, that's got to be 70s at least.
But
or
they
if not
did
60s.
make signs that don't connect to Lego and they just stand up. Mm-hmm. So these would get thrown away quite a bit as well.
Absolutely. It's so old that it's beyond the recognition of Lego at this point, even though it is from its heritage. So.
And one of the problems with stuff that gets thrown away is it could be too hard to see the Lego sign.
Exactly. It's not visible. It's not easy to read.
Like that sign, it said Lego, but I mean, I'll tell you what, 10 years from now, I won't be able to read it.
Yeah, exactly. Most people, in fact, people come to the store and they don't realize. I say, well, what's the part number on the bottom? And then they're like, there's a part number on the bottom of this Lego piece? I'm like, yeah, most of them have them these days. So
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. But yeah. Well, thanks, Chris, for this deep dive into throwaway parts. Hopefully this was able to educate you viewers at home. And if you find something in your collection in a bulk buy and you don't know what it is, try Google Lens or even reach out to your other Lego friends and see if they know. It might be something cool, might be something valuable, it might be trash.
Or post it on Facebook for the entire world to see that you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, that's a quick way for lots of information. If more than you wanted to know.
You're right.
So,
Yep.
yeah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any of those button clicks help the channel so much. We have a lot more content coming out soon, so we'll see you then. Bye-bye.